Life's digital and inclusive vertical that we have within the organization. We've covered about 7 million lives. Today, when I'm here in November 2025, that number has crossed 10 million lives. And so what we've done in the last 1 year, a number of new initiatives, which I'll just briefly touch upon, and then we are building upon those to take us into 26 and 27 and 28. EFU Life is the largest private sector life and health insurance company in Pakistan, and for the longest time of our existence, we were a traditional insurance company. So an insurance company who would just focus on the middle class customer, the upper middle class, the high net worth, customers which give you high ticket volume and you can make profitability out of that. That was our business model. About 6-7 years ago, and at that time we used to look at microinsurance. I think this was touched upon in the card pioneer example, that we would think of it as charity and CSR. That was the mindset right from the top to the bottom. So we said, okay, let's challenge that mindset, and we did a few pilots which we had relative success. We wanted to move from that CSR mindset to a mindset of financial sustainability mindset. So that was a journey. It didn't happen overnight, but to convince the board that yes, this can work, allow us to do pilots and we will show success, and then we can scale it up. That's history now. That was 7-8 years ago. Today, this vertical alone is contributing about 10% of our top line, from 0 to 10%, and we are a relatively large organization in terms of our revenue compared to the standards in Pakistan. So contributing 10% is, I think, an achievement in many ways, but not just to the top line. It's contributing more than 10% to the bottom line as well. So that whole question on financial sustainability or lack of it, I think all of that has been addressed. And there's full conviction across the organization that yes, this is a vertical that we need to invest on. We now have a full-fledged team which looks after this. So there are two sort of approaches we use. One is the partnership model, because we know as an insurer, if we have to reach out to, let's say, 100 million Pakistanis, we cannot do it on our own. It's going to be cost prohibitive. We cannot create our own distribution channels to reach out to the end customer. But yes, we can partner with entities such as mobile network operators, and I think that's something we've talked about a lot today, and I'm sure we'll be talking about it tomorrow and onwards as well. Mobile network operators, microfinance institutions. In Pakistan, in the last 5 years, we've seen digital payment platforms really sort of growing at a very fast pace. So we are embedded into the entire journey of payments. Microfinance banks. Digital banks are coming up in Pakistan now. The government is giving out new licenses to encourage financial inclusion, and that's something, that's a platform that we're working with. And all of these partnerships, I think they are, every time I have to ask my colleague that what are the number of partners we have now, and I think it's around more than 35 partners across I think 10-12 ecosystems, right from ride-hailing services to digital payment platforms and all of the others I just mentioned. And between them, we have more than 10 million lives covered. The products we offer are hospital cash, term life, accidental death and disability. But now we're going into the wellness space as well. We're going into what we would say disease awareness and disease management programs. We're trying to bring them on board as well. Some of the new initiatives which we think, which started as pilot this year and the year before, but now we've had success and we feel that they can now be scaled up. The first one is the micro savings product. Now that was a hard nut to crack. We had been trying to figure out the model to use, or a model that we think will succeed, and finally we were able to find a like-minded partner, one of the largest microfinance institutions in Pakistan, focusing on women empowerment. And their entire customer base are females, entrepreneurs. And we said, okay, maybe this seems to be a good segment to go and talk to. In Pakistan, and I think very similar in a lot of other developing markets, is that women do save, but they save through unstructured ways. They do not really use financial methods, structured methods to save. So this gave us an opportunity that let's go and have a chat with them. And because they're already saving, but they're saving in cash at home. And the risk is that the male family member, just given the whole social fabric of the way families work in Pakistan, especially in the rural areas, the male family member could have access to those funds, and then for whatever purpose the female saved it for will not be fulfilled. So that's how we brought in this microfinance institution to connect the savings aspect with the loan that they were giving out to these females. So every time a female makes a repayment for a loan, there is an element that is also paid as a savings fund. So where do we come in as an insurer? By the way, we are one of the largest fund managers in Pakistan. And we are, from Pakistani context, we are managing over $1 billion of funds. So from a global context, that might seem small, but from a Pakistani context, it's a large amount, $1 billion of managing retail customer funds. So we have that expertise. So we said, okay, let's start to manage these micro funds for these hundreds and thousands of females, and that's what we started to do. But the point was, if you're offering a savings product, how do you tell them how much profit are they going to make on the savings product? So if we get into a financial calculation that, okay, you'll get 8% per annum profit, this segment does not have the financial education to understand how it works. So we said, okay, fine, if you pay for 12 months, if you save for 12 months, at the end of 12 months, you get 13 months back. If you save for 24 months, at the end of 24 months, you get 26 months payment back. If you, let's say, save for 36 months, you get 40 payments back. So suddenly the whole conversation was around how much they get back, not in terms of percentage and profit rates and all of that. And just simplifying, I think the point was raised about keeping it simple, and we just kept it simple. And from 0 customers in a span of 10 months, we have 250,000 or almost touching 300,000 females who are now into a structured savings mechanism. And we are now going to expand it next year, taking it to 1 million females. And suddenly our fund management team is saying that, look, we had never managed this kind of fund. These are like small funds dripping into the fund, but now it's sort of growing at a very fast pace. So that's one product that we are quite excited about. We have a like-minded partner who I think was also a semi-finalist, Kash Foundation. So I think we did have a meeting of mind there, and we were able to bring this product. The second one is a nano lending product. So we have digital banks, we have mobile platforms in Pakistan which are giving out nano loans. These could be loans like a loan of $10, for example, or $50. So we've embedded ourselves into the journey, and these 10 million customers, a major chunk of that is through the nano lending platform as well. As I mentioned, we are working on wellness and disease awareness. Also something we're excited about, and that's, I think, where we got the regulator on our side. We spoke about, making the regulator feel part of your success. I think that's something we did. And that's a digital savings regulation that came out in Pakistan about 7-8 months ago. And in the larger context of financial inclusion, we are launching a digital insurance platform, which is not that new, but the concept of end-to-end digital savings connected to a purpose. So the purpose could be climate related, the purpose could be social empowerment. All of that connected together and connecting insurance to that, that's something new that we are working on, and it's going to be launched very, very soon. And that's also going to tick box the larger agenda of financial inclusion, and that brings in, to some extent, micro as well.